Hurricane Milton.
Incredible hurricane. I apologize. This is just horrific.
This is happening. East Pack John turned into 11E. 11E turned into 92L. The 120 at landfall? Telling me. This time 2 days ago. Thursday night. Alright. You know what this was a Thursday night? 3070 disturbance. We are now under state of emergency. It's supposed to rain a lot too. I mean, if it worst case scenario, wind wise, it probably gets close to Matthew, which is absolutely insane. That puts it at a currently between New Smyrna Beach and Oak Hill. And that puts part of the line through our county, putting us on the north side, which will be the worst side. So where it is right now is the absolute worst case scenario. I think the highest possible wind we can get, sustained, probably, worst case scenario, 90 I'd say. Future me, as I'm recording this video, that was very accurate. In fact, I'd say sustained, like I said, is probably closest to 90 if you're going by 5. So, good job by me, I guess. But at the same time, I said worst case scenario. So technically, that means it was worst case scenario. So there's that. But the fact that we could see this thing as a 5 in 36 hours is wild. 9 hours after this, it was already a major hurricane. And 12 hours after this, it was a 5. It did not take 36 hours. It took 12 to go from whatever it was then, which was below a 2, I believe. I think it was named that day, to a 5. So there's your rapid intensification while moving southeast. So that's never done before. Cat 5 moving southeast and the Atlantic. So basically at this time, it was the night after it had peaked at its 175 according to NHC. I believe it was slightly higher, probably closer to 180, 185. But anyway, it was after that peak, but the entire day it had kept shifting south. Well, intensifying still, so it was scary, but it was getting further and further away. And we were finding out that the interaction would make it weaken pretty quickly, even though it would become extratropical and take that extratropical transition. As a category 5, it would still weaken from a 5 at 160, 165, whatever it was, quickly until landfall when it was only 115. And yeah, anyway, the shift, like I want the storm to hit us, right, to get footage, just to experience it. So that kind of sucks, right? It's shifting away. So basically at this point, I don't know if it's gonna really be that bad for us, if it'll get into the 80 to 90 mile per hour sustained wind, because really I was looking for something comparable to Matthew. I mean, Ian and Nicole from 22, they weren't not windy, but they were just at the brink of hurricane status, hurricane category 1 status. And I was like, I at least want a high-end one, preferably a 2. right? And the gusts went up to 2 in the end. So in the end, it was fine. I'm satisfied with what I got. High-end Cat 1 sustained with Cat 2 gust. But basically, right then, I started having my doubts about where this thing was going. So at first, I thought it was going to track north. And then I was like, okay, maybe it could go straight over us, and it shifted way south. The reason for it starting to track south was really because it kept going more south than expected. It really, in the beginning, was expected just to go due east into the west coast of Florida, because it was like lined up with Tampa Bay. So, you know, as soon as it didn't go due east and it went like straight southeast and got really close to the Yucatan, obviously it's going to shift south. Now in the end, it ended up as far south as I thought it would be, and you know, you'll get to that part why it wasn't is actually pretty interesting. But basically that's what was happening that day. You know, extreme intensification on top of a more southerly movement than they thought it was going to be, which actually did lead to some damage and flooding in the Yucatan. I don't know right now, but I just have a feeling this thing's going to shift back south. You know, if it does, it could come back north, but you know, time's cutting down. Looking at the worst impacts on the east coast of Florida, 100-mile-per-hour gust, 80-mile-per-hour sustained, 3 to 5 foot storm surge, power outages, you know, the whole thing. 13 inches of rain. Shutters are up. Spent the afternoon doing that. But yeah, that's about it. I just really hope it doesn't change really from where it's at now, but I'm pretty sure it will. Spaghetti models it bring it south. It's closer to Mexico. More sharp turn, which would bring it south. So hopefully I'm wrong.
Hey fellas, knock off all that high society crap and play some of this. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not much of note today. Here's basically what we were looking at as far as rain and flash flood possibilities go. Obviously here's the official hurricane warning on TV. Today was kind of just waiting on the storm. That is it for this part. There will be 3 parts in the series, and we'll see y'all in part 2.